Get Luka some help. Welcome to the Put 'em on a Poster podcast. If you're new to the channel, my name's Chandler, and let's get into the video today, man. So the Dallas Mavericks played the Detroit Pistons today, and man, oh man, Luka Magic, bro. What a game tonight. This was a very close game. Final score, it was only a 4-point game, but Luka Doncic, bro, he carried the hell out of the Dallas Mavericks tonight. Like, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If Luka Doncic wasn't playing, Dallas was getting blown out by a mile. Luka was incredible, dude. Put up a 53-point game. He's coming back off of an ankle sprain and putting up a 53-point game. That is amazing. Like like no one can compete with this guy at all. And you look at Detroit and you look at this game tonight. This game was a dogfight, man. These teams were going back and forth. One team would go on a run, man. You'd see Dallas going like a 10-2 run, whatever, right? Detroit, they're coming right back. Throwing haymakers themselves, man. They go on a 14-2 run or a 10-2 run. This was a game of runs, man. And this game, it was very close. It wasn't like the scoreboard indicated that too, man. I mean, this was a very, very, very close game, and this game was very back and forth. There was a lot of strong performances tonight. As I mentioned before, Luka Doncic, 53-point game. I mean, the dude's incredible. He was 17 of 24. He had 24 points in the first quarter. Like, what? Like, oh my god, dude. The stuff that Luka can do and the stuff that he does is just he's amazing. He's truly is amazing. I mean, you look at the Pistons side of the ball, Bojan Bogdanovic, Bogey, he had himself a 29-point game tonight. He was really good. Sadiq Bey, 18 points himself. Jaden Ivey, obviously the stats weren't too great for Jaden Ivey, but Jaden Ivey, he played a great game tonight. He was very aggressive, very physical, and he was making some tough finishes, man. Like, he had a couple pretty nice and ones, pretty good layups. I mean, he was very good tonight. And if Jaden Ivey keeps playing like that, I think he's gonna be a very good player come long term. But man, let's get back to talking about the Dallas Mavericks, dude. Just the fact that Luka did this and they won it's incredible. Because you look around at their team, they had one player in double digits. One. Spencer Dinwiddie, guess how many points he put up? A whopping 12. I mean, yes, there was a lot of contributions from other players. Like, there was a lot of players that put up like 9 points, 8 points, 7 points. A lot of players, it was a pretty decent all-around scoring. But you look at this game and it's like, there's something missing for the Dallas Mavericks, and that thing that is missing is that second star. I mean, you look at Dallas Mavericks, or you look at the Dallas Mavericks, they're a couple games over 500. They're like in the middle of the pack team. And, with the Western Conference as it is right now, the Western Conference is so tight that you could lose or you could win like 3 or 4 games. If you're like the 12th seed, you could jump up to being the 4th seed. That's how tight the Western Conference is right now. There's any team, honestly, right now in the West can really compete and really can make the playoffs. And there's so many teams that have a chance. Like, they really are right there. If you just catch fire and you catch hot and you go and you don't lose, you're gonna be a top seed by the time the season's over. And I mean, obviously there's a couple teams that, like, you look around the league and there's a couple teams that have this, or like they have this star player. You look at like the Lakers, they have LeBron James. Yes, the Lakers haven't been amazing this season, but they have that superstar player. You look at the Bucks, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo. You look at the Nuggets, you have Nikola Jokic. You look at the Sixers, you have Joel Embiid, and so on and so on. You look at these teams with these star players, maybe the team all completely around them isn't spectacular, but these guys have this second star. Like, like going back to Joel Embiid, you have James Harden, who is a proven superstar. I mean, he was an MVP in the past for Houston. I mean, obviously he's not at that form anymore, but you look around the league, you look at the Lakers, they have Anthony Davis, who's a superstar when he's healthy and fully playing aggressive and everything. You look at the Bucks. The Bucks don't have that secondary superstar, but they have like decent stars. They have Drew Holiday. They have Chris Middleton. And like, hell, you look at Brooklyn. Brooklyn has Kevin Durant. They have Kyrie Irving. And then, obviously they have Ben Simmons right now too. Who knows what's fully going to happen with him. It's looking a little bit rough for Ben Simmons right now. But, hopefully he gets everything going in the right direction and starts getting back to where he was. Because when he was playing good for Philly and playing aggressive, I mean, he was first team all defense and arguably an all NBA player. I mean, he was amazing for them in the time that he was full on, playing aggressive and being physical. I mean, he was really good. But, you look at Dallas, and Dallas has this problem. Dallas has this problem of we have like one other guy that can really full on create a shot or can move around with the ball, and that's it. I mean, yes, you look at their team, they have talented guys. I mean, they have Dorian Finney-Smith, who's a pretty decent shooter. You got Reggie Bullock, pretty decent shooter. You got Dinwiddie, as I was talking about. He could be a secondary ball handler. You got Christian Wood, who didn't play tonight, but, Christian Wood, he can be a pretty good big man. He can put up a 20 and 10 game. I mean, you look at their team has talent, but these guys, they don't have any sort of person that can really put the ball on the floor and create their own shot other than Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, this is blatantly this is a pretty big problem for the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, you watched games tonight. You watched like on Christmas Day against the Lakers. They were sending blitzes straight at Luka the whole time. I mean, when you have no other guy that can full on really create a shot and create good shots and make good plays, they're gonna double team the only person that really can. And I mean, you see in these games, I mean, they were sending doubles the whole entire time. And yes, Luka is a very good playmaker. He can look and he can make that pass and say, hey, here, take the ball. Here, take the ball. He has that ability to make that pass, and he that's what makes him so special, is he can make these passes. But you look at this team, and it's like this team is missing that piece. This team is missing that guy that can take the load off of Luka. And I mean, yes, Luka is a special player, and he's going to dominate, but like looking at Jokic, who's like, honestly, I'd say in a very similar situation compared to Luka, right? Jokic last season didn't have anybody because of injuries, and he was the one that was having to really carry the Nuggets to even being a good team. They made the 6 seed or the 5 seed. They played the Warriors in the first round, get knocked out. I mean, obviously the Warriors were a way better team last season than they are now. I don't know what's going on with them this season, but you look at that team, and now they have those guys back. They have Jamal Murray back. They have Michael Porter Jr. back. They added KCP. They added Aaron Gordon. They got guys that can create their own shot. Dallas doesn't have that. Dallas has shooters that can help spread the floor and let Luka create his own shot. But they don't have guys that can just do that. And if I'm Mark Cuban right now, I'm picking up the phone. I'm calling general managers. If I'm him, I'm like, any team that's open and willing to trade and has good pieces, I'm calling, man. I'm picking up the phone. I'm saying, hey, man, what do you want for this guy? What do you want? What do you need? Because, I mean, you look around the league, there's going to be plenty of teams that are going to be on fire sales. I mean, obviously teams are going to tank right now. They're going to try to go all out for Victor Wembanyama and like Scoot Henderson, people like this. And I mean, you can look at teams like the Spurs, who like maybe on a low ball option, you can get someone like Josh Richardson. You can get Doug McDermott kind of fits that shooting build, but that's someone that's still a talented vet that you can put alongside Luka, and he's going to produce. And I mean, you could look at Charlotte for an example. That's a team that, they have Terry Rozier, they have Mason Plumlee, they have Kelly Oubre. I mean, these guys are all somewhat older guys. They have PJ Washington, who knows what they're going to do with him. Arguably, I think PJ Washington is probably, God forbid, right now, one of their like better players, which is crazy to say, but PJ, like those type of guys would fit really, really good on this team. And there's obviously other teams around the league that are struggling right now, and maybe they sell and maybe they turn into that kind of situation. Like maybe you look at the Phoenix. I'm not saying they make a move for Chris Paul, but if Chris Paul's available and you can get him off a pretty good deal, Chris Paul is another big-time playmaker that you can add to this team, and it's like, hey, this would work. I mean, they're rivals right now. There's a lot of stuff going on between them. I doubt they make any sort of trade for Chris Paul, but you look at like a team like Toronto. Fred VanVleet might be available. Pascal Siakam might be available. OG Anunoby, who I think would be a perfect fit next to him. You look at the Bulls right now that like they're on a decline. Maybe they trade Zach LaVine. Maybe they trade DeMar DeRozan. If I'm Mark Cuban and I'm, the Dallas Mavericks, I'm making a move. I'm doing something to get help because, man, Luka putting up 53 tonight, it's incredible. But man, if your second highest score tonight is only 12 points, and if you're playing the Detroit Pistons and Luka is doing that, and it's a 4-point game, that's not a good sign come playoff time. I mean, yes, Detroit played really great tonight. Obviously, they were amazing. They kept it in, or they kept themselves in it. They kept going back and forth. But I don't know, man. If you're only winning by 4 points against the Detroit Pistons with Luka putting up 53 off of a sprained ankle, and your second highest score having 12 points, I don't know. You got to make a move in that situation. You got to take the load off of Luka because if not, he's just gonna wear down. And I mean, I'm not saying Jason Kidd is gonna be like Tom Thibodeau, where he's gonna play him, damn near 40 minutes a game. No, but you gotta take that load off of Luka. You can't. You're gonna wear him down over time. He's gonna end up having a career like James Harden if they don't make a move. Where James Harden eventually did get some help with people for like Chris Paul and like Russell Westbrook, who could somewhat take the load off of him, but Chris Paul or James Harden had a lot of wear and tear on his body. And, James Harden's still been good now for Philly, but he's nowhere near what he was in Houston. And, I mean, you can tell, like, if this keeps going for Luka, Luka's going to wear down quick. And it might get ugly for Dallas. And, if I'm Dallas, like, Dallas, when they had Kristaps Porzingis, he was perfect for this team. He fit him. I mean, yes, on paper, it seemed like it fit. In reality, Porzingis just kept getting hurt. Didn't really have enough opportunities, but I mean, just having that second star who can take the load and make his own shots, that's going to be huge for Dallas. And, it's like what I was saying before. If I'm Mark Cuban, I'm picking up that phone and I'm calling somebody. Because, God forbid, man, the last thing you want is Luka Doncic to get worn out. Get that man, Luka Doncic, some help, man. But I just want to say thank y'all for watching. I appreciate all the love on the videos. It means a ton to me to see people liking the videos and subscribing and commenting on them. I mean, it makes me happy and it keeps me motivated, keeps me wanting to do this. And I can't thank y'all enough for doing it. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking through it. Thank you for sticking with me. If you like the video, man, hit that like button, subscribe. I love people when they subscribe, man. I love the subscribers, man. It means a ton to me to have people subscribing and watching the channel, having them grow with me and grow alongside the channel. It means a ton to me. So thank you for watching again, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.